Hi guys, another good week on the market. I haven't traded that much this week because I haven't seen that much that tick my boxes, but the trades that I did take have been good, and I've closed the month green, which is great because January was red, so I feel like I'm getting back in the swing of it. Going to go into one of the trades that I took, which was a third day surge swing trade, so let's go to the chart. So the ticker that I traded was EDSA, but I'm just going to quickly look at another ticker that had a third day surge, which kind of helped my reasoning for taking EDSA. So RXT was a nice third day surge that occurred before EDSA. So we'll just quickly go to the daily chart. Here's its day one, big run on high volume, pull back on day two, and a drop off in volume. It did, a lot of volume on day one, almost 540 mil, down to 66 mil on day two, and then this big surge on day three, which was very much on my radar, but I chose not to take it, unfortunately. So let's go to the intraday chart. Now this is its day one. Nice pullback on day two, and how perfect is that? Just down to $1. And I did actually take a little bit of a scalp trade here. I think I bought in at like 101. Just took a quick 8% gain because I thought, I was probably going to have a little push off $1. And I almost considered swinging it because I thought this is just setting up so nicely for a third day surge. But I don't like buying into third day surge setups on day two because you never know what they're going to do after hours or pre-market the next day. So yeah, I didn't do that, but it seems like day two is a good time to buy at the moment for this kind of setup. Not saying I will go towards day twos because I'm still not comfortable with that, but that seems to be what's working. So yeah, you can see I really wanted it to hold this area the next day and then buy in somewhere here for a third day surge, but it didn't wait for me. It grinded up nicely, and on day three pre-market it gone up to like 144. So the reason I didn't take the trade was because it's already sort of moved 40% into its bounce, and I did think, yeah, this could go a lot more, but I just don't like buying it when it's already moved that far, and it was too far away from the previous day's close for me to get a tight enough entry. So I probably would have taken some if it was closer to like 122. But yeah, I didn't get down there. So unfortunately, I missed that trade, and then it was a really good chance to actually buy it just on the open because it bounced perfectly off day two's high of day, which is also another area of interest, but I wasn't quite looking at it that way, so completely missed that. And then yeah, look at that bounce, really nice. So that was a good indication of this setup is now working. It's had a third day surge, and it's a strong third day surge. So if I go on to the one that I took, which was EDSA, really similar setup. Big well, no, actually not that big day one move. It was moved on high volume, but I think it closed up, so it's gone from around 90 cents, closed up at 150, so a decent run, not massive, but nice volume and a nice pullback on day two and a nice drop off in volume. So looking to play that for that third day surge move. So if I go on to the intraday chart, this is its day one. Nice pullback on day two here. And again, it's going down to 120, so quite similar to RXT where that went down to $1. So it's kind of operating in a similar price range. And, it would have been a nice time to buy it again on day two in anticipation of the third day surge because it just grinded up. But again, I say I'm not going to trade these on day two, so I did wait for the day three setup. And if I just zoom in, so pre-market, it already had this nice rip up to 160s. So again, I'm thinking this is already having like a 30% bounce from this area, this low from day 2 up to this pre-market spike. So it's not ideal for me. I don't really want to start trading it once it starts to spike. But because RXT had set up very similarly, and this was kind of doing the same thing, and because it pulled back close to the previous day's close, that then allowed me to take an entry. So I got in at a really nice price. Probably couldn't have gotten any lower actually. Well, obviously I could have if I traded it here, but after this spike, got in at 138, and then just before market open, and then it just had a really nice spike once market opened. Sold into some of these areas, but I decided to hold some because I did move my stop up. So my stop was just at 134, you can see it there. And once it had done all this sort of spike in action, I'd moved my stop up to, I know that's the previous day's high, 142, but I'd actually set my stop to 141 just below there. So I literally missed getting stopped out by 1 cent, luckily, because I thought that this could continue into the next day with the way things had moving with the way things have been moving, and that I didn't think that it'd gone to its full potential. I was thinking this could go, closer to 2 really. So I swung the rest of it. I had sold most up, already. Don't really like swinging stocks. And then can see it held nicely after hours and pre-market the next day, holding nicely. I felt really confident actually at this point that this is going to have another move. And then market opened on its day, this is now day 4. And yeah, had that really nice spike. I sold, my best sell was 197. And I took a 21% gain on this trade overall, which, yeah, it's not great considering I should have held more maybe into the next day, but I'm not that comfortable with doing that. And then obviously it went all the way up to 258, so much bigger bounce. The bounce continued much higher after I sold it, which is fine. So yeah, that was a 21% gain on a 3rd day surge swing trade on EDSA. So feeling positive about this week and this month. And even though the last 6 months really, the market's been pretty dead, been in a fader market, the last 2 weeks have shown me that even though the scans aren't great, there are opportunities to be had if you can kind of tune into what's working and what's going on. So I think I've dabbled in that the last couple of weeks, so feeling positive there. And themes that I've taken away from the last 2 weeks are that things are having multi-day moves. It probably is a time to be swinging stocks a bit more if the setup is there. So we'll see next week, that could completely go away, but that's kind of what I've picked up on so far. So maybe I'll be trying to swing a few stocks if they haven't reached my PTs, and I think they can go a bit further. But let's see how it goes and catch you next week.